Hi, you're listening to Listed by Mina Kuper. We're about real estate, trust, probate, divorce, and more. And thank you for listening to our show. We're on every Thursday from 12 to 1. People always say, well, what'd you start this show for? I'm a certified trust and probate realtor, and I deal with dissolutions of relationship as well as divorce, and whichever way it comes. And I've thrown myself into that field because I realize that there are a lot of people that get into situations that are unforeseen circumstances, and when you're in a hurry to get into a situation where you're trying to resolve things, people usually take the wrong path because it's emotional. And where do you go? Where do you start? What do you do? Right? There's a lot of potential people involved in each situation, and it can get very messy. And so I know amazing professionals that work within this arena and decided to speak to the public about what to do, potential questions that they have, that we're here to help with. This is an educational type of program to help educate people, and I really enjoy doing this. And, I work out throughout California and Arizona, and I really love helping people and working with the professionals that I know. So I have today, I have Mark Marcus, who's an amazing bankruptcy attorney. He's a pioneer in his field. He knows what he's doing. He loves what he does, because it's not about money for him and the people that I know. It's all about helping. And that's why I invited Mark to be on the show today. Mark is been practicing for many years and has seen it all. Mark, thank you for coming on the show with me today.
Always a pleasure. Good to be here again.
Yeah. So, I know there's a lot of confusion about different chapters, right? Because they have businesses, they may be flopping marriages that may have some issues, and we live in a community property state. And there are different chapters, and obviously there are rules to each chapter. And I think, what I'd like to say is, Mark, let's talk about the different chapters they are and what they represent and who would need what in what situation. Because people, they'll call attorneys and they'll call me after, like, well, this guy told me to do this and this guy told me to do that. Then I call Mark, because, like anything else in all professions, there's a lot of different types of people. Everybody's human. Some amazing, some not so amazing. But let's talk about, let's start with some chapters and what they represent, if you feel as a business or an individual that you should potentially be speaking to a bankruptcy attorney.
Okay, well, there's a lot to discuss there, but the basic bankruptcy chapters that are available for businesses and individuals are Chapter 7, 11, and 13. And the different chapters have different eligibility requirements, and they also accomplish different things. So to give a basic overview of them, a Chapter 7 case is essentially just a straight liquidation of any non-exempt assets that you have. And what that means is, everybody owns something. You either own a house, or you own, cars, or you own jewelry, or whatever it is that you have. And there are exemptions under state law which protect the value, a certain amount of value in your assets. Okay, so mostly, you're generally not going to file a Chapter 7 case if you have a lot of assets that are not exempt. That's something obviously you discuss with an attorney before filing. And but the basics of Chapter 7 is that you give up any non-exempt assets you have in return for getting a discharge of your debts. And as we discussed in our previous shows, not all debts are dischargeable. There are certain debts that are accepted from discharge, such as some taxes, but not all taxes, some taxes, student loans, and any debts that are incurred through fraud. There's a whole list of things. But generally, that's what Chapter 7 is about. Chapter 13 is for individuals. It's not for corporations or partnerships. It's only for individuals. And it's basically a repayment plan, and you don't lose any assets. You get to keep all your assets. But, the two basic requirements of Chapter 13 are that, number one, you have to pay out at least what the value of your non-exempt assets are. So, for example, if you had $20,000 of assets that were not exempt, you'd have to pay that out over the term of your plan, which is going to be between 36 and 60 months, depending on various factors. And the other requirement is you have to pay all of your disposable income. And how disposable income is defined is beyond the scope of a quick radio show like this, but it's basically your budget. It should basically be what you have available to pay after you pay your ordinary living expenses. And that's a grotesquely quick review of how Chapter 13 works. And Chapter 11 is basically just a big Chapter 13. It's just I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that there are debt limits for being in a Chapter 13, which were just recently raised. So you can file Chapter 13 if you have less than I think it's $2.75 million of debt total, which is pretty easy to qualify for most people. That was really only recently raised, like about a month ago, and historically it's been at about $400,000 for unsecured debts. So they just recently raised that, and that's going to be good for, I think it's 3 years. Anyway, that's Chapter 13. And so anybody who doesn't qualify for Chapter 13 could do Chapter 11, which is quite a bit more involved and more expensive. And I think that's the basic overview. Now there are certain debts that are dischargeable in Chapter 13 that are not dischargeable in Chapter 7. Just to anticipate the question on that. So some people will file a Chapter 13 because they need to get rid of those certain debts. Among those certain debts are debts that are incurred in connection with a divorce. So if you are any support that's owed pursuant to divorce is not dischargeable in any bankruptcy chapters. So spousal support, child support, those are never dischargeable. It doesn't matter. But debts that you owe for what they call marital equalization payments, these are things that you owe to your spouse that are not technically support, that can be discharged in a Chapter 13 case. And this is something that arises in the context of a divorce often, in the typical divorce scenario where one spouse is ordered to, or they agree to, take over the payments for the credit cards, for example. And that's usually a big mistake for the other spouse.
Right.
Because that the one who has the obligation after the divorce can file a Chapter 13 case and discharge that debt. So I'll take a breath now, and you can.
Well, so no, it's interesting because there's so many, and that's why I do the show, right? There's so many twists and turns to all this. It's not a straight ride, and if you really hold on to the wheel real tight and get yourself in a situation where you have professionals that know what they're doing, you can end up on the right side of the road. So for businesses, so let's say business, which chapter would they go under?
Oh, so I forgot about businesses. So businesses don't usually get divorces. So
but they can have an issue, right? Debt, collectibles, all that jazz, and they're making money, right? I've talked to people; they're making money, and I don't know where I'm making money, but I don't have any money. The bookkeeper must have done something wrong, And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I said I haven't seen what's going on there. You're spending too much money, I guess,
Right. So businesses have. So first of all, if it's a business that's not a corporation, meaning it's just John Doe.
Yeah.
DBA John's Carpets, or whatever, then they can do anything that an individual can do. There's no restriction. They can do a 7, a 13, or 11. But an actual corporation or an LLC or a LLP or those types of entities, they can only do either Chapter 7 or Chapter 11. And Chapter 7 for a corporation usually like 99% of the time doesn't make any sense. In a Chapter 7 case for a corporation, the debts do not get discharged, so it doesn't really accomplish anything. The only reason any corporation would ever file a Chapter 7 would be if they have a lot of assets that the owners don't want to bother with or be on the hook for selling and paying the creditors, in which case a bankruptcy trustee could do that. And the other reason that it would be done, which is probably getting a little too involved here, but if sometimes the owners want to start a new corporation, and if they need the assets of the existing corporation for the new corporation, sometimes it makes sense to file a Chapter 7 for the corporation to have the new corporation purchase those assets from the bankruptcy trustee so that there's a middleman involved, that it basically makes the sale more, what's the word I'm looking for? Kosher.
More streamlined?
Yeah, kosher. I'll go with kosher.
Kosher, streamlined.
But yeah. So
compliant.
Anyway, that's that. The other. So for a business that's trying to stay in business, a Chapter 11 would be what they would want to do, and there is now a subchapter of Chapter 11 called Subchapter V, which is supposedly a more streamlined process, for businesses that have debts under $7.5 million, I believe is the limit, and that's been pretty successful for the short time that's been going on now. So it makes it a little bit easier to get your repayment plan approved for a business in a Chapter 11 right now.
So if a couple is divorcing, can one file a bankruptcy without the other?
Yes, of course, and they can, even if they're not divorcing, one spouse can file without the other. Whether that's recommended or not is another story altogether. Especially in a divorce situation, because I think one of the mistakes a lot of couples make when they're getting divorced is not working together to deal with the debts before they get divorced. Because one of the ways to avoid the problem I was alluding to earlier about one spouse being able to discharge the debts owed to the other spouse in a divorce. The way to resolve that is one way to resolve that would be to have both spouses file a bankruptcy case before they get divorced, and deal with those debts
together, right?
To deal with them together, so that there isn't one spouse getting left on the hook for something, and also it also assists in making sure that whatever assets are getting divided up are going to be able to be divided more equally, because you're not factoring in these debts that one spouse might have versus the other. So it's probably the last thing on anybody's mind when they're going through a divorce.
Exactly. There's all these emotions for whatever reason. And some of it is financial. You know, they took all the money and went to Vegas and went gambling. And
right.
You know, right. And then the bills have to get paid. And it's like, oh, my God, you know.
Right. And one spouse is angry at the other one, and or maybe they're both angry at each other, and it's they're not communicating well, and it can be a real problem. But it is important. You know, it's really no different than a business breaking up.
Yeah.
And you have to kind of distance yourself from the emotional aspect of it, and deal with the business aspect of it independently, and in order to so that it benefits both of the parties.
And that's what people need to look at, take away the emotional part and look at you're each other's fiduciaries, right?
Well, yeah.
To some degree, you're looking. You're expecting the person to do when you go into a business agreement, relationship that's binding by a contract. You're assuming the person's doing the best for both parties, right?
Correct.
And unfortunately, it doesn't always work that way because life happens and people are human. And but if people can step out of themselves and get healthy for that 10 minutes and think about what's a good business decision, not be emotional. How could he do it? How could she do this? How can they do this?
Right, and you're usually dealing with a lot of other issues, including assets that you have, like property that you own together. Well, I mean, it's all community property usually anyway.
Right.
And how are we going to deal with the debts? And you have to deal with all that stuff. You're going to have to deal with it whether you ignore it and try to deal with it in family law court, or whether you deal with it, in a bankruptcy court first. It's just I see so many problems arise in these cases where people come to me while they're in the middle of a divorce or after a divorce.
And they sit there and argue in front of you, right? They're like, hey.
Yeah, well, it's too late then to do anything, to do anything about, the issue.
Right.
So.
And that's, it's so important, if people are, expecting some kind of dissolving of a relationship, whether it's death, divorce, business, it's really good to think logically, get your emotions out of the way if you can.
Yeah, and there's really good, professionals now, not to go off on a different topic here, but I think as well. There are professionals now that do like divorce, or not divorce, but just family law mediation. I don't think mediation's the right word, but they assist couples in going through this process.
Right.
And sort of like advising them on how to handle certain things, and
exactly.
making them work together.
Yeah, exactly right, and see what the purpose is. And so, Mark, we have a minute left, although we can go on for another hour because you have so much information, and I know the audience, I'm sure, would love to know more, and they can always watch us and listen to us on KHTS hometown station page. And the app is KHTS Radio, and 98.1 FM and 1220 AM is the radio station. What's a good phone number, besides you being on Facebook and all these other avenues where people can reach you and talk to you? What's a good phone number for you?
My phone number is 818-509-1173, and the webpage, which has all my information, is www.bklaw.com.
See, that's a good domain name, I have to say. It's been a long time. Again, thank you so much. I look forward to talking to you more and working together further.
My pleasure. Good to be on the show again.
Bye-bye.
Mina Kuper is a certified realtor focusing on trusts, probates, 1031 exchanges, divorce, and much more. She's a specialist. Mina has published books on inherited and divorced properties and business dissolutions. Ready to sell? Call Mina Kuper. Need your property renovated? Mina Kuper will help. No out-of-pocket expense. Pay at escrow. Mina Kuper, Keller Williams Realty, serving Santa Clarita, Ventura County, LA County, Orange County, and San Diego. Call 310-345-8500 or go to listedbyminakuper.com.
Richard Wang is an attorney and founding partner with Viridian Mortgage, a residential mortgage broker specializing in Disney-level customer service for residential purchase and refinance transactions. Richard leads a team of dream makers that prepare buyers to present the winning offer while securing the most competitive loan terms and in industry-leading turnaround times. Ask Richard Wang about their no-income and zero down payment loans for medical professionals by calling 408-828-5609 today.
Mark J. Marcus is a bankruptcy attorney in Burbank. He's helped his clients eliminate debts, stop foreclosures, and wage garnishments in Chapter 7, 13, and Chapter 11 bankruptcy cases in the greater Los Angeles area since 1991. He is a certified specialist in bankruptcy law by the State Bar of California Board of Legal Specialization. If you're facing debt problems such as mortgages, taxes, credit cards, debts from divorce, medical, and others, contact Mark to schedule an appointment. 818-509-1173.
Jerry Holt at Brook & Sons Inspections, with over 40 years of experience in the construction industry, has performed thousands of home inspections. Jerry Holt, once a city building inspector and general contractor, knows exactly what you need to look for when buying a home. Serving LA, Ventura, and Orange counties. Call Brook & Sons with any questions. They're here to serve you. Call Brook & Sons Inspections at 747-336-9849 or email at brookandsonsinc@gmail.com for your free quote.
Are you looking for help with your online marketing? Do you need a professional website design? Do you want to increase your sales and get more leads? Then you need Abby Perez, CEO of Digital Concept. Abby has 15 years of experience helping businesses with all of their online marketing needs. She and her team will work tirelessly to get you the results you deserve. They offer a free in-depth analysis. Call Abby Perez and the Digital Concept team today and let them help you take your business to the next level at 800-531-0872 or visit digitalconceptmarketing.com.
Richard Wang is an attorney and founding partner with Viridian Mortgage, a residential mortgage broker specializing in Disney-level customer service for residential purchase and refinance transactions. Richard leads a team of dream makers that prepare buyers to present the winning offer while securing the most competitive loan terms and in industry-leading turnaround times. Ask Richard Wang about their no-income and zero down payment loans for medical professionals by calling 408-828-5609 today.
Skyline Smiles is a full-service, high-tech dental office located in Skyline Ranch Plaza on Plum Canyon Road in Santa Clarita. Dr. Harleen Graywall, founder and CEO, provides full-service dentistry as well as dental Botox for TMJ issues. Skyline Smiles strives to provide the best dental experience for you and your family. Visit Skyline Smiles Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or call at 661-244-4036.
Jerry Holt at Brook & Sons Inspections, with over 40 years of experience in the construction industry, has performed thousands of home inspections. Jerry Holt, once a city building inspector and general contractor, knows exactly what you need to look for when buying a home. Serving LA, Ventura, and Orange counties. Call Brook & Sons with any questions. They're here to serve you. Call Brook & Sons Inspections at 747-336-9849 or email at brookandsonsinc@gmail.com for your free quote.
Mina Kuper is a certified realtor focusing on trusts, probates, 1031 exchanges, divorce, and much more. She's a specialist. Mina has published books on inherited and divorced properties and business dissolutions. Ready to sell? Call Mina Kuper. Need your property renovated? Mina Kuper will help. No out-of-pocket expense. Pay at escrow. Mina Kuper, Keller Williams Realty, serving Santa Clarita, Ventura County, LA County, Orange County, and San Diego. Call 310-345-8500 or go to listedbyminakuper.com.
Your hometown station.
KHTS is the only station I listen to.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
Hi, welcome back. You're listening to Listed by Mina Kuper. We're about real estate, trust, probate, divorce, and more. We're listening to 98.1 FM, 1220 AM. We're also on the radio app, KHTS Radio. If you're on Facebook, you can go to our Facebook page at KHTS Radio, hometown station, and follow us so you can see all my shows. I started my show a little over 2 years ago, and the reason why I did it is because the lockdown happened, and I felt that it was a big opportunity for education, educate the public. I'm a realtor. I'm certified in trust, probate, and divorce, and I have an amazing team. We work with attorneys, families, businesses. I offer services where our clients do not have to take out-of-pocket expenses to do junk removal or staging or cleanup. We offer that on our team, and we get paid in escrow. So often people don't want to pay before the party has ended. So we try to make it an easier flow. So we do residential, commercial, multifamily, and we work throughout California and Arizona. And I know amazing agents in other states as well. I come from a tax and wholesale background, a wholesale mortgage background. So I'm pretty proficient in those areas, and I consider myself someone who has a lot of experience. And I like to share that with people to help them through the process because it's emotional. And today I have Abby Perez here from Digital Concepts. And Abby is here because without digital people and companies, it probably would be hard to survive these days. When we talk about divorce, there are many people that have questions about what do I do now. Some people were raising kids. Some people, just things change, especially after the pandemic. I think we all suffered some PTSD here and shifting, some good, some not so good. But I think that having a starting point where it clicks, why don't I start here? I can hire someone to help me with my digital piece, and that will pretty much launch anything, right? You want to tell the world you need digital, right? We don't do the knocking on doors type of thing and going from store to store anymore. Everybody's online, and you want to get noticed. So if you're a person coming out of retired person and want to start something fun online and keep you busy and keep you active in what you're interested in, if you're becoming a single mom or a single dad and you want to do something interesting and let the world know about what you are up to, don't keep it a secret because it's kind of fun once you get the hang of it. It's just getting started is always a little bit like, oh my God. Then you're on a roll once you start, and Abby knows how to get through all that. So, Abby, how long have you been in digital marketing, digital concepts?
Hi, Mina. Thank you for having me again. I've been in the digital space since 2012.
That's a long time.
Very long time. In the earlier days, it was very confusing even to me being in the space where, they mention algorithm and updates and indexing. And so I've taken all of that knowledge over these past 10 plus years and collaborated with talented individuals who help anyone at any stage, whether just as you mentioned, coming out of a divorce, lawyers, we work with lawyers, real estate agents.
It's also competitive.
Very competitive.
You need to stand out, right? You need to stand out.
Exactly. We get you noticed.
Yes.
We help you stand out. Instead of a crowd of 10, we get you in front of 100,000 or more, millions.
Right.
Depending on the type of campaign. But essentially, it's very confusing. It's very complex.
It's a lot of work for someone to sit down and just like to create a post and post it. It's like, if you're like me, it can take you a good hour, if not more, for one thing, right? And you need someone who really can bang it out, so to speak,
quickly,
but boom, 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 and that comes by doing it, right? I mean, people learn and get good at what they do because they do it all the time. And I know that I've gotten lucky and figured some things out on my own, because I tried and I got into it. But I was like, and like almost 2 hours passed. I'm like, I could probably do something better with my time, right? So I do suggest that. And then what kind of campaigns do you run to get people's either business or if they want to do something educational to the public and speak to their audience? What is some things that you start with?
Well, those are very good questions. We do customize everything, so it's never a one size fits all. If it's an educational process, it's more about putting informative information, providing value to their target audience, and encouraging them to funnel through the process, whether they're going to purchase a course, register for a course, download a course. And if it's an e-commerce solution, then we would run a completely different campaign. We might incorporate media buying, social media, brand awareness. If it's a realtor or a lawyer or any kind of personal services, business to business or business to consumer, that would take more of a local approach. Unless they're national, then you would focus on optimization for the local area.
Right.
So there's a variety of different ways to go. It just really comes down to consulting, figuring out what the goals and our objections are, and then we can kind of frame it and build out a strategy.
And can you work with anyone in the United States or outside of the United States?
Both national and globally. We have had some clients outside of the U.S., which is nice. Those are for bigger projects if they just needed more content strategy or building a website.
So here's a couple of questions. I'm probably interested myself, and that's why I'm asking, right? So, okay, so you have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. What else is there?
Twitter,
YouTube. Could we go through each one and what they're each good at doing?
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many different channels and each of them work independently but kind of work together when you're doing a whole full brand awareness. If you're doing Instagram and not running ads, you're more just branding and teaching and educating. The same as Facebook, it's a different audience. You could incorporate paid ads, which is essential for like any kind of service or business, not just more you could do educational as well. If you're doing YouTube, it's more to get followers. The same concept of branding, building the audience, communicating, engaging. Pinterest is great for Shopify stores, e-commerce stores, any platform that you're deciding to use. No one ever thinks about Pinterest.
Right,
but
right.
It is actually a very solid
It was big
platform.
for like 10 minutes where everybody was talking about it. And if you go there, it's really pictures, right? Is there
pictures,
words?
But those lead to different
Those
places.
leads, right. Because if you have something interesting or eye-catching, people want to know more about it. And so, like, let's say you post ABC jump ropes or something, right? And I'm like, wow, that's a cool jump rope and love the colors and so on. Wants to know more about it. So they're on Pinterest, right? So where do they do with that?
It's content awareness. It's communicating with your audience at any given moment of triggering whatever you're searching. Let's say you're searching for the ABC rental or you're trying to have a party and you land on an option and you see the design and you realize that when you click the link, it leads you back to a store.
So it's a link that you click on Pinterest.
You can
put a link on there.
You could actually build content strategy even just with that one post. So you get more out of it. It's not just a post. It could be. You could just put a post.
You can post.
But you can add alt tags to that where it also gets optimized for specific keywords.
Oh, that's interesting. And take you to other places.
Everything, I always like the analogy, I break it down as it's kind of like planting a tree and letting the tree grow. And every single one of those branches is a way to get back to the root, right? The tree.
Right.
And so any of those could be social media. It could be paid ads. It could be an email funnel. It could be a landing page. It could be a website. That's how complicated it could be when you sit down and try to figure it all out.
But you got to start somewhere, one couple of places, depending on your budget, obviously.
That of course too.
So TikTok, right?
TikTok's amazing. It's
people watch it because it's funny. Right,
catches emotion.
Put some odd things on there. I must say. So TikTok, each TikTok is what, a minute?
A minute or less. It should be.
So can you continue it with more TikToks that goes after your first TikTok?
Yeah, there's a whole strategy to just even posting TikToks. I myself, I think I'm up to 2 videos.
Are you?
Over the course of 2
we
months.
can make one after the show with it, right? It'd be funny. I mean, I don't know.
We should, because you're supposed to have multiple videos, even a day and a week.
Oh my gosh, you're doing this all day long. Hi, I'm going to the bathroom now. I'm going to go make my sandwich and feed my dog. I'm going to get in the car.
Exactly.
I'm going in the shower. I will be back soon. You know.
Yeah, it's keeping your audience engaged in that content strategy, and editing is something that we also assist with. You would think I would do it for myself, but I still can't brave the courage of going out there and creating my own material, and I want it to be me.
Right, so, right. And because that's the authenticity. And, you know, people, you know, the influencers, right, they get paid a lot of money because they do this all day long. Yeah, I mean, they are on a full-time, I mean, I think they shut down when they go to sleep. They pick up the phone, maybe, right? They pick up the phone and they're like, hi, it's me again. I'm like, oh, I was like, oh my. And you have to be willing to come on the air and people see you in every, as you as a human, your authentic self, right?
Relatability. They want to see that you're authentic and can provide. They can relate to you.
Yes.
They want to relate. You don't want it to be too businessy, too professional, because, you know, they can see that anywhere. They want to know more about you as a person, and I think that really captures people.
And then that's what, you know, in any kind of business, even if it's a serious business, like I deal a lot with dissolutions, relationships, and that's pretty serious. But when people can connect to you as a human being, people get to, when I work with people, they get to know me. You know, my stuff in my world, too, you know, because I think they can connect, and then puts people at ease to know the kind of person they're working with.
No, that's extremely important. And imagine the power of doing that one at a time with one client, you know, couple week, couple day, and then taking that to the masses of hundreds of thousands to millions of viewers to be able to resonate and get that content across where you understand, you know, not everyone, but you're going to capture that audience. You
know, and it was the same thing, you know, going back years and years ago, right? They had the Dear Abby. Right? And this happens to be your name. And then, you know what? I don't know. Like, it's probably trademarked, right? Dear Abby.
10 years plus ago, I used to always say when people would think, oh, hi, Peggy, or hi, Debbie. I'm like, no, it's like Dear Abby. I don't do that anymore because some people are not even going to know who Dear Abby is. No,
except us little goats. No, we're not that old. It's just everybody's younger that we're talking to. But, you know, it's true because they were social media before social media.
Yeah, that was the social
media. They did columns, editorials, and they got known for it. So they were blogging pretty much, right? Yeah. Dear Abby. Who else was there?
There's quite a few. The one that, of course, stands out is just because of the Dear Abby thing. But
right.
They're, you know, been in a magazine, been in print, any print ad.
Yes.
You know, you had to wait a week or, you know, whatever the time cycle was.
Right.
Now it's so instant. You can put out any message
in a second, right. And so, but people would be like, oh, did you read the article from Dear Abby? Because it was saturated. Like, this was not a thing, right? This lady was special because she had a blog that reached thousands of people. And, of course, she didn't have that kind of competition. But I assume maybe this all started, I wonder if it blogging and all this started from a Dear Abby column or something like that.
I'm sure it evolved to that. I know with more was, a lot of it was celebrity based, you know, keeping everyone in the loop with what's the day-to-day because they knew it would capture audience.
Right.
Get the viewers. And now it's just, you can have a blog for anything. Anyone can start a blog. And even then, 10 years ago, it seemed intimidating. Like, what do I write?
Yes.
You have to write every day or every week or a couple of times a day. And now it's just it's the way of things. You know, you put content out there. You put new relevant content for your audience. They want to come back for more. You want it to be found on Google. You want it to be found on any, you know, online
because
platform.
It's interesting to them. And even weird stuff is interesting to them. You know, but, you know, I'm super excited. I don't know if I mentioned to you, I'm starting a trust and probate division and divorce division in Keller Williams.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to be launching a big hoo-ha. So people will have a place to go and know that this is something we specialize in. We have a dedicated department for that because of the exceptional importance. And I'm being told, I got the finger. I'm being told that
it was a good one.
It was this finger, not the other one. But, you know, so anyway, Abby, what's a good way for them to reach you?
You can reach me on my personal cell phone. I know everyone gets shocked, but it is my business line. It is who I am with reaching my customers and clients. 818-288-5215. You can go to the website at Digital Concept Marketing and also reach us via chat, our phone number there, or reach us here on the Facebook and listen to the ad.
Yeah. Facebook page, KHTS Radio. And you can call me on my cell phone. Call me on my cell phone. Is there a song like that? 310-345-8500. Again, you can reach Mina Kuper at 310-345-8500. We'll see you again next week, Thursdays 12 to 1.
Richard Wang is an attorney and founding partner with Viridian Mortgage, a residential mortgage broker specializing in Disney-level customer service for residential purchase and refinance transactions. Richard leads a team of dream makers that prepare buyers to present the winning offer while securing the most competitive loan terms and in industry-leading turnaround times. Ask Richard Wang about their no-income and zero down payment loans for medical professionals by calling 408-828-5609 today.
Are you looking for help with your online marketing? Do you need a professional website design? Do you want to increase your sales and get more leads? Then you need Abby Perez, CEO of Digital Concept. Abby has 15 years of experience helping businesses with all of their online marketing needs. She and her team will work tirelessly to get you the results you deserve. They offer a free in-depth analysis. Call Abby Perez and the Digital Concept team today and let them help you take your business to the next level at 800-531-0872 or visit digitalconceptmarketing.com.
Jerry Holt at Brook & Sons Inspections, with over 40 years of experience in the construction industry, has performed thousands of home inspections. Jerry Holt, once a city building inspector and general contractor, knows exactly what you need to look for when buying a home. Serving LA, Ventura, and Orange counties. Call Brook & Sons with any questions. They're here to serve you. Call Brook & Sons Inspections at 747-336-9849 or email at brookandsonsinc@gmail.com for your free quote.
Mark J. Marcus is a bankruptcy attorney in Burbank. He's helped his clients eliminate debts, stop foreclosures, and wage garnishments. In Chapter 7, 13, and Chapter 11 bankruptcy cases in the greater Los Angeles area since 1991. He is a certified specialist in bankruptcy law by the State Bar of California Board of Legal Specialization. If you're facing debt problems such as mortgages, taxes, credit cards, debts from divorce, medical, and others, contact Mark to schedule an appointment. 818-509-1173.
Skyline Smiles is a full-service, high-tech dental office located in Skyline Ranch Plaza on Plum Canyon Road in Santa Clarita. Dr. Harleen Graywall, founder and CEO, provides full-service dentistry as well as dental Botox for TMJ issues. Skyline Smiles strives to provide the best dental experience for you and your family. Visit Skyline Smiles Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. or call at 661-244-4036.
Mina Kuper is a certified realtor focusing on trusts, probates, 1031 exchanges, divorce, and much more. She's a specialist. Mina has published books on inherited and divorced properties and business dissolutions. Ready to sell? Call Mina Kuper. Need your property renovated? Mina Kuper will help. No out-of-pocket expense. Pay at escrow. Mina Kuper, Keller Williams Realty, serving Santa Clarita, Ventura County, LA County, Orange County, and San Diego. Call 310-345-8500 or go to listedbyminakuper.com.
I love it.
Right on!
Your hometown station.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Listed by Mina Kuper. And you're listening to 98.1 FM, 1220 AM. You can also catch us on Facebook at KHTS Radio page or the app at KHTS Radio. So I want to talk about things that are dear to me and important to me. Animals and children. And I help some rescue groups get animals out of the shelters because it's just rampant. They're just overloaded with animals, and it's very sad. And it's like shuffling a deck of cards that doesn't end. And we're always looking for fosters, and the rescue groups will bring the dog to you if you want to foster. They will pay for the veterinarian care if needed, for the checkup. They will pay for the food, anything that you buy during your foster period. They will pay for it, and I think it's amazing that they have that. And some people, don't want a dog full time because they travel, but they say, hey, I would love one for a month, right? And to help it, get out of death row, pretty much. It would be amazing. Reach out to me. We can talk about it and get you started on that path because it's such an amazing feeling. We all have stressful lives, but when you foster an animal or you adopt a pet, it just adds a different perspective. It's almost like an endorphin rush. It really is. And we need people. We need manpower to help us. And as far as children go, the holidays are going to be coming up soon. I'm going to have a toy drive, which will be closed toys for children of all ages. There are a lot of children group homes that have no parents. There are people that are underserved communities or parents that are struggling. And I want to be able to help the parents and the children and put a smile on their face for the holidays, at least as much as I could do. That's super special to me. Everybody, if they just give a little bit, just a little bit, even if you don't have money or time, just give a little bit of something, and your whole world changes. Your whole energy changes, and it's just whatever your cause is. It's really super special. And, having the Trust, Probate, and Divorce Division at Keller Williams will enable me to help more people and have more manpower to be able to donate more to my special causes. So that's my why, right? People have a why. It's not just to buy more cars or have a couple more homes, although that would be nice, but not my hurrah, right? So please, help if you can. My phone number is 310-345-8500. Please tell your friends about my show. Reach out to me with any questions you have about anything. I'm here to help if I can. Again, thank you for listening.